In my opinion, the secret of success is not hard work. The secret of success is curiosity.
Every experience is a learning.
You might run a 20 years journey. You could become successful on the 20th year. Whatever happens, I work.
A small impact will make a huge benefit for the client.
Very, very important in today's world in terms of whatever you're doing.
Creativity does not live within the frames.
Is Mr. Idea’26, the former creative director at Zoho, a brand strategist and storytelling expert. With over 2 decades of experience, he played a key role in building Zoho's global brand. In this session, he will be sharing his perspectives on design thinking, storytelling, and creativity in the age of AI and emerging technologies. Let us all welcome Mr. Idea’26 to the stage.
You take any leaders, okay, they have actually toiled, they have put in so much hard work into their domain to become that, okay. But I have a complete different point of view, okay. In my opinion, the secret of success is not hard work. The secret of success is curiosity. If you're curious about something, it will not let you sleep. It will not let you sit casually. It will not let you pass someone. It will not let someone other overtake you. Right? It will not let you not to observe things around you. And second thing is that I always advise, I used to advise my team members at Zoho, learn adjacent skills. For example, if you're if you're a graphic designer, okay, don't just learn graphic designing, learn how to write. Or if you are a writer, okay, just think how you can visualize your copy. Or if you are a fashion designer, just learn the skills of how to launch your product line in the market. What does it take to launch your product? So when you actually learn, you don't have to be master in that craft. You don't have to be master, okay. But when you know the nuances of your complementing skills, see, just one skill cannot take you to success. Just becoming a pure fashion designer, you cannot be successful. You need to know the art of research, what is the trending in the market, and the price angle, and the positioning angle, and your GTM strategy. There are a lot of nuances. Okay, you might be designing, next biggest trend. Okay, but until you take that product to the market, you cannot win. But taking your product, taking idea to the market needs a lot of these skills, right? So how do you do that? So you have to learn those additional skills. So when you actually learn these additional skills, okay, there are a lot of magic happens. You will ask the right question, right? So idhukku enna pannona neenga, you have to be very, very curious and you need to learn the adjacent skills. In fact, I attribute my success to that. In fact, not sure if you know my history. I worked for Zoho for 21 years. Okay, and I joined Zoho as a graphic designer. But na quit pannumbodhu I was a creative director. Every 3 years, I consciously put an effort to change my stream. So a graphic designer joined panni, then I took up product design, UI UX. And then I started writing content, and then I started designing website, and then I started doing digital marketing, social media marketing, and then campaign strategy, then media buying, then writing scripts for ad, right, and doing the PR. It's a evolution. But ninga paaka panina, everything is related to one thing: customer. How do you persuade a customer? how do you inject the thought that Zoho is the best software company in the world? So I would like to end with this. So just be like a kite. Don't hold it too tight. Don't let it loose. Stay curious. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Ms. Aishwarya Krish. The founder of Roish Architecture has designed a studio based in Chennai known for creating thoughtful and functional space. Today, she will be speaking on the topic Startup Firm in Architecture and Design in the current scenario, building, sustaining and growing a practice including a client acquisition, retention and project management. Let us all welcome Ms. Aishwarya Krish.
Hi, my name is Aishwarya Krish and I am the principal architect of Roish Architecture plus Design. I'm not going to bore you today with a lecture or a whole bunch of things you should remember and things like that. It's just going to be my experiences. I'm going to be sharing it with you guys. So maybe one of you guys will be standing here a couple of years later talking about your company. So to start from the very beginning, I started this company straight out of college 5 years ago. At Roish, we're very, very clear that we want to build lifestyles for people, for new homeowners, for offices that want to take it to the next level. It all starts with the minutest of details. So you need to be extremely attentive to that small screw in the hinge on the door in the space. Only then you will be able to work with a macro context. So obviously we do architecture as well as interior design. Architecture becomes the macro context, but interior design actually is more difficult than architecture. So architecture is like a marathon. You need to have the stamina, you need to have the patience. Interior design is more like a sprint. So you need to like quickly get things done, and the turnaround period is about like 3 to 4 months. So in this entire journey, let's go back to how we started getting clients, right? So for us, the clientele came through different spaces. So I would bucket it into 3 buckets. So one would be your network. That is the most important thing. Your aunt wants to renovate some bathroom in somebody's house, please do it. Please take it up. Every experience is a learning. The second one would be visibility. Document your work, take videos about it, document your thought process. It makes a huge difference when you put yourself out there, either through Instagram or through your website. So we consider ourselves design chameleons. We try and adhere to the client's requirements, and that's the most important thing. So in college, when you guys are getting a brief, stick to it. Don't change the brief. That's the requirement that the client has as well. So what I would like to say is be confident, stay strong, stick to your gut, and someday you'll be speaking from here as well. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Mr. Ashok, an accomplished costume designer with over 15 years of experience in Tamil film industry, including Dhruvangal 16, Jil Jang Jak, Aval, Darbar, Kapan, Mafia, 3BHK, collaborating with some of the biggest names in cinema. Today, he joins us to share his experience from the film industry and insights into the craft costume design. Let us all welcome Mr. Ashok sir.
Hi all, I'm Ashok and I'm a costume designer and stylist. How fashion works in films is initially you're narrated a script, right? And the script will demand every characters to be precisely in a form how the director wants the person to look like. So first of all, you got to understand that concept, then come out with ideas of how you understood the content of the director's vision, and you start coming out with references and stuff. And every film will have a color theory. Usually how it is done is like the outlook of the film is first planned, and we know like how the color of the film is supposed to look like. For example, usually when they show Mexico and all, right, it's not exactly how they show it. It's shot in a different way. and usually it's been color toned to like sepia and stuff like that. So that's not exactly how it's supposed to be. But we have the color understanding. Based on that grading, we have the color breakdown. So we initially break down from the core characters to the sub characters. Every character will have a color theory, and it should work within that boundary. We cannot be using anything away from the color palette what we basically come out with. You have to make the garments more practical, ensure everything is like well and good for them, and only then they can concentrate on their work. So everything depends upon what you give and what they wear. If they're comfy with the costumes, but the other part of their work will become more smooth. They will not concentrate. They'll be able to concentrate on the acting part, the dialogue part, and whatever that happens in their mind, right? The moment the costume they feel somewhere it is uneasy, right? The concentration will be going on that. They'll be more concerned of how they're going to look in front of the camera. So every time they'll go peek into the monitor and say like, no, somewhere it's not looking good. Can you fix it? So then the pressure comes to you. So you have to be very, very practical. I mean, any garment that is given to an actor, you have to be very sure like if this person's going to be comfortable. And that's the reason you should have the knowledge of the script. So when the director is giving you the script, break down the scenes, be more practical, think of all the practical aspect that happens in the scene as per the character. Then you do what all movements you're going to be doing. So be practical, like if this particular garment when they do. See, sometimes what happens is like you're designing something, so on the look it looks fine. So as the scenes goes by, suddenly they come and say like you have to flip the character. There is a stunt, you have to flip the character. If the person is wearing a skirt, you can't do that, right? So practically it's going to be more difficult and it will create chaos. It's going to be a little tough, and your growth part could be like you can become an overnight star or you could be like struggling for 10-15 years. So but the only thing is like the patience is what matters in cinema. Like your success could happen any time of your life. You might run a 20 years journey. You could become successful on the 20th year, but you just have to have that motto of like, yes, whatever happens, I work. So I don't give up or I don't deviate, or when you have to be more disciplined and like stick to your ideas. Just go about it somehow, somewhere you will be answered for your work. Yep.
Our next speaker is Mr. Ranjit Chitrarasan, Senior Associate Architect at DWP Intrex Private Limited, with extensive experience in corporate interiors and workplace design, based in Chennai. Today, he will be speaking on the topic commercial design, focusing on large-scale project, sustainability in commercial interiors, and current market trends, and future-ready workspace. Let us all welcome Mr. Ranjit Chitrarasan.
Okay, so today we are going to see what is workspace design. I'm not sure if a lot of people knows what is workplace design, or is there a category called like that. So we'll just see what is it, what we do, and we'll talk about sustainability, and we'll see what is the future for workspace design. So this is my firm, DWP Intrex, just a bit of marketing for my firm also. So we have offices across India, and we are working with multiple MNCs ranging from Google, TransUnion, Comcast. Then we have a lot of fintech clients also, Associate General, Palo Alto, Electronic Arts. So they have a lot of offices which are happening in Bangalore, Chennai, Pune and Hyderabad, where we are the co-designers for them. So coming on to workplace design, what is it? When I say workplace design, is it a job where I just put a row of workstations in a given plant, or is there something to do about it? When we go in detail, it involves a lot of aspects to it. So when a problem is being given to us, say that, okay, I want to put up an office for 1,000 employees, we just don't go ahead and plot them on a very like an open space. We just say that, okay, the business department, let them sit over here, let the project management sits over here, let the marketing team sits over here. So we have to cohesively put everything together to see what is the approach we are giving there. So this is a basic tool kit or a methodology what we practices we understand the building, go with the stacking, then we see how the site is being responsive, then we come up with then spatial arrangements where we want to put our full light masses, where we wanted to keep our open spaces, and how we want the employee to engage with the floor. These are the key components of the sustainable offices. One is the energy efficiency, the sustainable materials, and the water efficiency also. The water efficiency is nothing but your water fixtures are designed in such a way that they uses the water very specifically for that content. If you have to flush it, if you want to wash your hands, there is a particular criteria where it says that the flow rate has to be 2 liters per minute or 4 liters per minute based upon your usage. So those kind of things also. And we have started using grey waters for your flush tanks, for your washing works and all those areas where a lot of recycling happens inside the facility itself. So by doing small impacts in these areas, we are able to save a lot of carbon footprint at the global level. Then observe everything. It's nothing but please know about the current trends, what you want to go with. See, a small advice to designers is that you create your own style. Please don't get involved in everything happening at every places. If you have a style which you believe that it will work out in the market, you stand to it. So whenever, for example, if I take a doctor, if I am being a general physician, I can just be a doctor who can consult after 6 o'clock. But when you specialize after doing your UG course, like you become an ophthalmology or you can get into radiology, so it means that they are entering into a niche within their field. So please select a niche for yourself, and especially to interior designers, if you feel that okay, this is my cup of tea, and see how, in what way we can do it differently to make a difference.
It is a pleasure to introduce our next speaker, Mr. Charles Ernest, the co-founder and creative director of Smudge, a creative branding agency based in Chennai. Today, he will be sharing his insights and sustaining a creative journey in a design industry, staying relevant over time, and his perspective on the future of branding and design. Let us all welcome Charles Ernest.
Thank you for the introduction. All right, now before I came here, I was just going around to check, all of your works. I want to say, I was quite impressed by the showcase of all departments and all the work. It was very exciting to see the range that you guys have produced, right? It was very exciting for, for someone like me coming from outside to look at your work and then experience it. So great job. And a book, I was so fascinated by the art in a comic or an ad or a film, and from there on, I started to get hooked on into the design world, and from there I started to build, right? So this is how most of these journeys are built. First thing, what I learned in the design industry when I entered the design field, I thought design was about aesthetics. So I thought it was making things look pretty. And that's how I went about it in my initial years. And my whole validation was, client approval, peer approvals, awards. And this is how, I built my first, couple of years of my career. When I came in to Chennai and once I started to build my studio and things like that, one of those things was I was exposed to varied kind of people, right? I didn't know what Korean food was. I didn't know what Japanese cuisine is. I didn't know what Athangudi tile, or the culture of Karekudi was. I had no clue. But I was extremely curious about every single aspect of it. So I just opened myself out and observed every single aspect that I could pick from each of these things. I constantly, keep moving it, at one step at a time. I don't get overwhelmed with the kind of softwares or with the kind of knowledge that is thrown at us, because it's extremely a noisy space. So I pick and choose what I want to learn on a given day or a given thing, but I keep doing it constantly, right? Every day I'm learning a particular tool or a particular feature. It could be for 5 minutes or it could be for 10 minutes, but I spend time every single day just looking at, how things are moving in different directions, right? and we are constantly looking to move ahead of what we can or what other people are doing. But time is constant, it goes by its own thing. So I normally look at time more like a video game, right? So it's one level at a time. Sometimes you are stuck in level 4 for about 4 years, 5 years. But the whole idea of being resilient and trying to push to get to the next level. So thank you very much for having me here.
Is Ms. Sandhya Rajkumar, a practicing architect and the founder of KDA. Today, she will be speaking on the topic Beyond the Box, Rethinking Creativity in Design. Let us all welcome Sandhya Rajkumar to the stage.
Hello everyone, I'm Sandhya Rajkumar. I'm a principal architect and co-founder of KDA Studio. We're a bespoke architectural planning and interior design studio. Creativity is not conventional. Innovation is not conventional. Creativity does not live within the frames. So we've been told to be creative. How do we be creative? That is the question. So let's start. So what is the problem? The problem is box thinking. How do we address it? In architectural education or like interior design schools, we've been taught to pick the problem. Like we've been told to solve the problem, analyze the technical constraints. Good, critical, very important, but that dominates our creative process. So we're so scared to do anything illogical, strange, unusual, because that's not correct. That's not imaginative, but it's not correct. We have the fear to create something that's correct more than being it imaginative. Let's say we are redoing this auditorium. We come up with like 5 different interior concepts. That's divergent. If we come up with one idea and refine it and make it the last outcome, that's convergent. Research shows that you come up with like innovative ideas when you come up with multiple explorations. But when we're put on a deadline, what do? We just search for the last result, final solution. So what do? We just rush to it. So what can we do instead? We have to explore and create when we have time. I am one among so many designers. So I have to create my own design identity now. I'm focused on just creating that. More than building my bank account, I'm doing that. You need a design identity. You have to question yourself, what is your design identity? How will people remember you? Remember your work. You have to be memorable. So how does it come? It comes from the books you read, the movies that you admire, music you listen to, the places you've traveled to. That is all the perspective that you put into your design. It comes when you create something, the way you think, it is all through that. And that's my time. Thank you so much.
Now we will be announcing the results for the competition happened for Idea 2026. Bastec's announcement will be done by our Ganesan sir.
Bastec's T-shirt Autumn Winter 26 collection. Winner Arshad Gupta from CD. And runner-up Vidubala and Sangamitra from FD.
Now we have Siddharth and Nataraj from Cooked. They will be announcing competition winners to us.
Yes, it's nice to meet you all guys here. நீங்கள் டிசைன் பண்ணி கொடுத்துருக்கீங்க, அதில் வந்து செலக்ட் பண்ணியிருக்காங்க. பேக்கேஜிங் நம்ம செலக்ட் பண்ணியிருக்கோம். பேக்கேஜிங் இதில் வந்துட்டு அர்ஷத் குப்தா அண்ட் நிஷாந்த் மகேஸ்வரன். ஸோ உங்களுக்கு 10,000 ஒர்த் உள்ள கிஃப்ட் கொடுக்குறோம். ஓகே, தென் ரன்னர் அப் ஃபார் ஸ்ரீராகவ், பார்வதி, சூர்யா, சுதர்ஷன். So they will be getting an amount of rupees 5,000 as a gift. ஸ்டாண்டி பற்றி பண்ணியிருக்கீங்க, ஒர்க்லாம் பார்த்தேன். அண்ட் இவங்களை தாண்டி மற்றவங்க பண்ண ஒர்க்ஸும் ரொம்ப பிடிச்சிருந்துச்சி. நான் எல்லாத்தையும் கம்ப்ளீட்டாக பார்த்தோம், டீமில் ஃபுல்லாக ரிவ்யூ பண்ணோம். ரொம்ப ரொம்ப இன்னோவேட்டிவாக இருந்துச்சு.
Thank you so much Nataraj and Siddharth. Like, see, whenever we first approached them, they were like very happy to start this competition. Initially it was like, okay, we'll do this competition and explore, but all of a sudden yesterday they said, okay, we'll give the result was amazing. I'll announce first prize as 10,000 and second prize as 5,000 cash, and then on top of that they added we'll give them kit, not just for the runner and winner, for all participating team members. So thank you so much, and thank you for being very gentle, humble, okay, and giving this opportunity for us. Okay. Thank you so much.